Says the Holy Alter Rebbe, Torah Or, Meggilat Esther, page 180. We're holding the second paragraph in the first column. So a quick recap. We were discussing the power and the immense oneness that mitzvahs have with the essence of Hashem, in contrast to Torah. And really the first paragraph was discussing a few cryptic messages of the Gemara. For example, Tachlis Chachma Teshuva Maisim Tovim, and Reishis Chachma Yiras Hashem, that we were saying that the purpose of wisdom is not really an amassment of information. Rather, the purpose of godly wisdom is to change your personality, or to uplift your personality, and to understand that it is not limited to a realm of information. And we're saying that what is the full expression of that? That's Tafkin a mitzvah. That the R Ein is not limited to the spirituality or the transcendence of intelligence. Rather, it's Gashmias that really is a reflection of the true essence of Hashem. And this is manifest and revealed in the fulfillment of Maisa Mitzvahs. The last thing we said is, even though they're enclosed and seemingly encumbered by physical things, nevertheless, this is specifically where the Soiviv Kol Almin light, the transcendental light of Hashem, that is not limited by darkness or light, not limited by up or down, not limited by spiritual or physical, is specifically manifest in the lowest realm of physicality, unlike Torah, wisdom, which is still, like we said, Reishis Chachma me'ayin timatze. It's not the ayin mamish, it's not literally the non-identifiable infinite light of Hashem. Rather, once you can identify it, there's a limitation there. Hence, when learning Torah, even though it's tremendous capacity for connection, nevertheless there's a limitation, because at the end of the day, the way I learn and the way you learn are two totally different streams. Whereas when a person does a mitzvah, it creates immense equanimity amongst within the world and within godliness itself. Regarding this glimmer and radiance and transmission of divine energy that is not limited to any space or time, and not even limited to any experience or faculty, i.e. Chachma or Bina, rather we call it Soiviv Kol Almin. This is the energy, this is the glimmer and radiance, that when Hashem says Hashem Malach, Hashem is, David Melech says Hashem Malach, Hashem is a king, Ge'us Lavesh, and he dresses himself, he clothes himself in grandeur, in awesomeness. This is the awesomeness that Hashem clothes himself in. And he explains, as it says, as it says, we say it every morning, Hashem, you are singular, right? You are unique. You are the only one. The vitality of all creation. Melech, meshubach u'mefayar adeat. A king which is praised and extolled forever and ever. Okay, so we have four concepts here. Three concepts. Yachid, Chei Ha'ilamim, and Melech. What is this inferring? Shehu yizbarich yachid u'miyuchad, hu levadeh k'mei kedush v'arilam. When you say, and dare I say, meditate on the inyan of Yachid, the meditation is that you're referring to God as He is Yachid u'miyuchad, in His unique and aloneness. Hu levadeh k'mei kedush v'arilam. He is alone, as if there's no existence of the world, similar to Him existing prior to the existence of the world. Like it's written, Hashem levadecha. You are Hashem levadecha alone. This is the difference between the explanation of the word echad versus the explanation of the word yachid. The term echad infers the drawing down of Hashem's oneness into a world outside, so to speak, of His oneness. The word echad is the aleph, transmits and enters and impregnates the worlds of ches and dalet. What's ches? Ches is the Zayin Rikiyim and this our physical world, right? 7 plus 1 is 8. And then dalet is the dalet ruches, the four directions, north, south, east, and west. So echad implies that there's a world, but the world is totally nullified to a reality that is higher than the world, or deeper than the world, or the conceiver of the world, which is Hashem's essence. But the term echad implies Daled, Beis, Gimel, that there could be something more. That notwithstanding their fixed identification and their seeming permanence, nevertheless, they are all absolutely included and nullified within the oneness, the uniqueness of Hashem, the divine presence, in a manner of absolute self-surrender and suspension of ego, and inclusion within the essence. And in truth, even though I do see it as something that is teifes makim, that does take some type of room or space in my personal reality or in the physical world, nevertheless, what is its truth? That it doesn't have. It is not a self-contained, separate entity. But at the end of the day, when you say the word echad, you're still giving validation and credence to that existence. When you meditate and utter the term yachid, Hashem is unique, singular. This is referring to the unique and true singularity of God, mamish, literally. Prior to the divine energy entering into the worlds, that he is alone, that he is truly alone. Truly alone doesn't mean that I'm alone by myself now, but there's a world existing outside of there. Echad implies that. Yachid is the opposite. And therefore, even after the creation of the world, there's nothing but him. Because everything is considered as non-existent. So therefore we have to say, hold on, so if everything is considered as not and nothing, not N-A-U-G-H-T, nevertheless when you say Chei Lamim, aren't you inferring that there is a world? So how can it be Yachid and then Chei Lamim? If it's Yachid, then it can't be Chei Lamim. If it's Chei Lamim, it can't be Yachid. So how do you have that? Is because the reality of Chei Lamim can only come about when the Eibishter becomes or takes the role of a Melech. What's Melech? Malchus Kol Lamim. Your kingship is the kingship of all worlds. Your sovereignty is the sovereignty of all worlds. But let's translate Malchus in a more Hasidic, psychological sense. Your Malchus, your power of communication, creates the power of communication with something outside of yourself. For example, like a king that rules and has dominion in his sovereignty. For example, that his essence and being is not captured, is not grasped, and is not projected within the nation kula. Only a mere glimmer, only a mere name alone, that he is called the king of this country. Yeah, we have a shaykhs to Joe Biden. We just know Joe Biden. You miss saying Trump, huh? Okay. Okay. We're apolitical in this Torah Or class. We just happen to know the president's name. But at the end of the day, he's here. Are we toifus him? We're not toifus him. We're toifus his edicts. We're toifus his rules. It's only the substance, the content of Melech causes Chei Lamim. I'm sorry, the opposite. The content or the substance of Chei Lamim, of the vitality of the world, only comes from when the infinite light of Hashem packages itself in a manner or in a framework of Melech, in a role of Melech. And the honor of his kingship and the beauty of his vastness, of his greatness. That is which is projecting into the nation. That's receptive. That's possible for me to connect to. And from this grandeur, this awesomeness, we accept the yoke of his kingship. And his sovereignty aleihem. So too, in the divine realms, when you're transitioning from the transcendent experience of God's divinity, higher than any space or time of creation, and you have to transition from an infinite realm into a more finite, to become the vitality and energy of the yeshus of the world that emerges from ayin. Who is only and merely the projection of his malchus, the projection of his kingship, and his sovereignty and his aloofness. Being that he is the king that is aloft and by himself, me'az, from eternity. And he is exalted from the days of the world. From this experience that Hashem now takes on the role of divine communicator and reveals to the world something of his own within the packaging of creation, then the validity and confirmation of the world's existence can be. And this itself gives vitality to the yeshus of the world from ayin, from the non-existence. Meaning from the elevation, the exaltedness, that it's only and merely a glimmer of the ayin, a glimmer of the radiance itself. So you're not getting the true truth of the personality and the essence of the king himself. What's he doing? It doesn't matter what he's doing. What am I doing? I'm only doing what the edicts and the commandments of the king dictate of me. But am I actually connected to his essence? Absolutely not.
Only merely to his name.
And that's where we say Yachid Kama Chei Ha'ilamim is only coming from Melech. And Melech is like the last level of his personality. Really, what's his personality? It's Yachid. And therefore, it's truly infinite. The fact that Hashem wants to derive Tachtonim and wants to communicate with something that is not only outside of himself, but it appears to them as they are something that are existing on their own, that has to come from Melech. From Melech, you can have Chei Ha'ilamim, the vitality of the world. The worlds exist within a framework of Melech. But beyond that, if you're speaking about a world of Yachid, what's the truth? Einog Bavadoi. That's the emes of the world.
This ties back into what we were saying, with how we started this with the Levushi of the Melech.
That's what he said. He's teaching out. Remember, we have to do the three things. He's teaching out, right? So he's so this is the it. So Hashem Malach. What do we say? What do we say? Very good. Yaviu levush malchus asher lavash boy hamelech. Right? Bring him the garments of the king in which the king enclothes himself. When is Hashem enclothing himself? Only when he wants to communicate with a realm outside of his own existence. In truth, what's the true existence? There is no Melech, there's only Yachid. But in order for there to be Chei Ha'ilamim, there has to be a Melech. And therefore he enclosed himself. This is the meaning of he is by himself aloft and holy. He affects mightiness. Lemelech Kel Chai V'Kayim Ram V'Nisa, to a king who is God, who is alive and sustained. Ram V'Nisa is exalted and removed. This is the meaning of Hashem is a king Geus Lavish who enclosed himself in clothing of grandeur. That what is his clothing? What is the levush of Hashem? His Geus V'Isnasus Leis B'Vicheres Melech. That's the level of Melech Aloilam, to be a king over the world. Shegeus ve'isnasus zu, that this exaltation, this awesomeness, this grandeur, is the glimmer, is the radiance, is the projection to cause the world to come into existence from a state of non-existent to existence. And it's the reason why the yesh gashmi, the physicality and the fixed identity, is even sustained. Because Hashem chose to fit himself, to compact himself in a role that allows for your existence and my existence to simultaneously exist. But in truth, that is a extreme precipitation, condensation, dilution from the true truth of Hashem, which is the essence of Hashem. Vehu af tikoin tevel baltimoit shekedei lies tevel gashmi nislabish b'midas geus, that in order for there to be, how do you touch? After you can tell about Timai, where we say that?
Yeah.
The pasuk is Hashem Malach Geus Lavish. Lavish Hashem he's Azar. The Lord is king. He has garbed himself with grandeur. The Lord has robed himself, right? Lavish Hashem Oisis Azar. He has girded himself with strength. After in Tevel Baltimoit, he has also established the world firmly that it shall not falter. Oh. How does he establish the world firmly that it shall not falter? The world's existence, the world's unfaltering, unwavering existence has to come from the fact that Hashem girded himself with a garment. And that garment is his awesomeness, is his grandeur, but all of it is merely and only coming from a level of malach. Okay, the fact that it takes on the role of king. וזהו השם מלך גאוס לובש, שנתלבש במידס גאוס והסתנס להסביר ביחס מלך על האילם שגאוס והסתנס זו המאירה. והוא אף תיקוי תבל בתימויד, שכדי ליאס תבל גשמי, נסלבש במידס גאוס, להמשיך ביחס מלכוס היסבורך, שמזה נמשך קימה יש גשמי כנעל. That in order for the upkeep and the sustenance of the physicality of the world to be perpetuated, he has to take on the role of malchus. He has to take on the role of a king, in which that role allows for there to be the seeming existence of this world. This is the meaning of bring him garments of your palatial garment, your kingly robes. What does this mean? This is the level or the experience of the Geus. What's the Geus? We said the Geus, Hashem Malach, Geus Lavish. Malach is already Malchus. Geus is the Orein Sof Shalifnei Atzimtzum, the Seilu Kalalmin light that threads itself into the experience of Malchus in order for him to be part of a world. So Hu Bechinas Geus, Ve'isnasus Orein Sof Baruch Hu. This is the awesomeness, the grandeur, the aloftness of the infinite light of Hashem. Ve'yaviu, they should bring it to him. Ksiv Shebechinas Geus Ve'isnasus Lamshich B'Chinas Malchus Yisbarich. Wow, who really crowns the king as king? You have to bring him garments of regality. You have to bring him garments of kingship. Who tailors the garments of Hashem in order for Hashem to take the role of king? The arousal from below. Yeah, the terrestrial human beings, mortals, have to awaken themselves to crown Hashem as king. Being that everything is absolutely not inconsequential. So upon who will this terminology melucha, kingship be brought about? It's only that as a result of him drawing down and revealing and illuminating the infinite light of Hashem that is transcendent, begili mamish, in a manner of full revelation, through matters, through physicality, that you make from them mitzvahs. You hear what he's saying? That the mitzvahs themselves are that which triggers and stimulates Hashem to even want to become a king. So Hashem Malach Geus Lavesh, the Jew who weaves together the tapestry of what a mitzvah is from creation, we make the robes for Hashem to even become a melech. So Yavia Levush Malchus, that they should bring him the garments of Malchus. Who's they? The Jews, through the mitzvahs that we trigger and stimulate the desire of God to even want to become a king. Yaviu Levush Malchus. Once the Jews do the Yaviu Levush, they make the mitzvahs, they perform the mitzvahs, that becomes the robes of Hashem to actually want to become a king. That these are the wills of Hashem. From there projects and illuminates the infinite light of Hashem. Literally, has to upon him, like we said in the previous page, without any it's full disclosure, without any obstruction, without any compromise. Blishum has to upon him levush. That these physical items, be it the cow or be it the wool, whatever they are, that once you extricate them from the shackles of physicality and you uplift them up to revealing the will of Hashem, and you remove the shells of existence, then they're literally the desires of Hashem and His holiness that is now going to shine and illuminate in them. And this whole transmission of energy, this whole evoking of the divine desire of Hashem is only and contingent on us. In arousal from below, Talia Milsa. The matter is dependent. The matter is dependent on the awakening of the Jew down here below. Like it's written, that you, the person, shall perform them. That it's the person, not only performing the mitzvahs. You're making God desire. You are actually formulating His desire. You are actually triggering His pleasure. It's explained elsewhere. However, this infinite light that is now manufactured and packaged through, again, not only the performance or the fulfillment of the mitzvah, but actually the creation, that the Jew is able to recreate the desire of Hashem in every moment that he's fulfilling the mitzvah. For example, like the wool of the tzitzis and the parchment of the tefillin, and then esrog. Obviously, everything is meduyuk. Why those three mitzvahs? No, that's a ha'ara. You guys have to. If you were in yeshiva and you were getting tested, right? You have to. I know I'm just making that up, but you'd have to answer these questions. Why is the Alter Rebbe choosing tzitzis, tefillin, and esrog?
And he added esrog. Last time it wasn't.
Right. Correct. Very good. Very good. It's everything is germane. Everything is very, very pertinent to the words. No, we know tzitzis is makif.
Oh, Lavush, Keter, and very good.
Maybe, very good. Maybe it's Yachid, Chei Olam Melech also.
Maybe.
Interesting. Tzitzis, it's not, it's talis is makif. Tzitzis is pnimi. It's the pnimi of the makif. Tefillin is makif.
Tefillin's makif. And what's that?
Tzitzis is talis?
Yeah, it would say talis.
Yeah. Okay. No. Food for thought. Okay, etc. She's havus ma'in liyesh agashmi. That the creation of non-existence into existence, into making the physicality of this world, the materiality of this world, that from them really is emerging the infinite light of Hashem that is transcendent and is peripheral, and creates equality amongst everything equally. However, when a human being fulfills these commandments, fulfills or creates these connections, and he does it with his body and with his everything. What's his everything? His money. Again, he repeats it. For example, the wearing of the talis. Now he changes. Very good, Leyv Yitzchak. The changing of the talis. And he grabs the lula of the esrog, and gives tzedakah. This is all your gufoy ubechol me'odecha. It's not only your body, but your body, and also you have to make a little money to buy some, to give tzedakah, and to shake a lula, and to buy tefillin, and to buy tzitzis. Okay, it's bahem she'em amshachas or vegilui. Right? How do you say money in Aramaic? How does the Gemara say the word money? No. No.
Coin. Money is coin. Mamon, yeah.
No.
Mamon is also money.
Is not demise also?
Oh, damim. Right?
Yeah.
Because what happens when you make money, if you're really making money, you have to give up your blood. Yeah, blood, sweat, and tears, we say, right? Mm-hmm. So this is it. You're injecting, you're imbuing, you're infusing your blood into in Gashmis. Even though you don't feel it, I put on tefillin, I don't feel godliness. I put on shake esrog, I don't feel God. It's all makif, it's all periphery. It's just enveloping me and enclothing me, not internalized. Be called makif, nevertheless. Wow, very, very, a lot of stuff. Let's read each word. That the R Ein Sof that is actually fitting, this infinite light that we're saying is the manifestation of these physical mitzvahs that we are performing, and we are eliciting this infinite desire. The full expression doesn't come into it. Rather it's only a ha'ara. And that ha'ara, from that glimmer, from that radiance, is coming from that level of the exaltedness of Hashem. That this is the exaltedness from the days of the world. But at the end of the day, the days of the world exist in order for you to be higher. Higher only exists when there's something lower. That the exaltation in and of itself, this is from the withdrawing of the vitality from the infinite light of Hashem. That it's not shining and illuminating in a fully revealed way. Because there should not be a nullification of the world's existence, and this should specifically be in a way that doesn't reveal Hashem. רק אחר שמסנסה מבחינת אלמין, כדי להריס מלכוס ויסנסוסי על כל האילומס, it's only after that the exalted level from the worlds is revealed, כדי להריס מלכוסי, in order for there should be a kingship, and his exaltation upon the worlds, is emerging, is shining from the level of him becoming a king, taking the role of kingship, which is an experience of Soviv Kolam Makif is Kulam Ashva Achas. Aval Ha'ara and Mishach Zal Adam Mikuma Mitzvahs B'Maise B'Poyel Mamish He B'Chines Keser Malchus. However, the illumination that is drawn on a person when he fulfills mitzvahs and he does it in a physical oriented way, that's connecting to the Keser Malchus. That's connecting to the This is the crown that your mother crowned him, that his mother crowned him. The Keser Shenasa al Reish HaMelech, and this is this crown that is upon the king's head. Al Derech Mashal, for example, Hum Yavarim Toivis is from beautiful gemstones. Shem B'Chines Doimimim. That where do you make the crown from? How do you make the crown? From gold, from silver, from gem. It's all doimim. Meaning, it's only a representation. What is the crown? The crown is merely symbolic of something. That symbolism is expressed specifically through what? Through physical things. It's the only gemstone that exists. At the end of it, it's doimim. Will you say what is more important? The life of the king or the king's crown? So it's interesting. We say the queen's crown is mamish, an expression of the life of the king. But at the end of the day, everybody knows a human being is more important than a jewel, right? Yeah. But everybody knows also that you're paying much more. You're paying millions and millions of dollars. It's specifically from the daimim. So what are we taking from this world and crowning Hashem king with? The daimim of the world, the mitzvahs after from the daimim. That most mitzvahs are coming from inyanim of daimim. Right? It says when you shear the wool off the thing, it becomes doimim. It's not tzimech anymore. Wow. From the chai. When you take the cloth, it's a doimim, right? It's inanimate. It's detached from its vitality. The alpha pika, nevertheless, even though it's the lowest kingdom of existence, it's the lowest aspects of existence. Lowest meaning to say it's the least amount of life force. Usually we give more respect, more honor to something that has more life force, human beings, than animals, than vegetation, and then inanimate. Nevertheless, the inanimate is the way you crown the king. That's how you make a crown. To become, for him to take pleasure and for him to be extolled. The kach became a mitzvah, so too with the fulfillment of mitzvahs, asher ya'asa ha'adam, in which a person performs. Hagam shein b'levushim d'dvarim gashmim. Even though they are things that are relegated to the physical world, the substance of the physical world. Nevertheless, there's a nasa b'chinas keser atara lemaila. This is how you conjure. This is how you evoke the divine keser. What's keser in psychological terms? The divine pleasure and will and desire that we are crowning Hashem to even have that desire to want to be in part of creation. This is the divine pleasure. Baruch Hu, blessed be He. Nachas ruach lefanish amartu v'nasa netzoni. This is my nachas. This is my incredible pleasure that is done before me. That I said, and you're fulfilling my will. And this nachas and this oinig, right? What do we say oinig was? Oinig is Eden Nahar Gan, right? Eden is Keser, Nahar is Bina, Gan is Malchus. That you have the full entire spectrum of existence, of reality within the word Oinig, within the inyan of Keser. Keser Malchus, v'nachas ruach zem is galim b'nefesh Adam, is revealed in the soul of man, ba'asaysa achas mikol mitzvahs Hashem, in the fulfillment of even one mitzvah, because one mitzvah attaches you to the infinite. V'talmud Torah keneged Torah. What is that one mitzvah? That a person must perpetually be attached to the infinite. That's Talmud Torah, which is equal to all of them. What are the laws of the Torah? They're really the movements of the world. Why? What are you moving? You're moving and transitioning and causing the journey of the infinite light of Hashem to not stay stuck in its own essence, but rather the essentiality of God be transmitted and refined and compacted within the world. In our world, halacha. And Hashem only has in this world the 4 cubits of halacha. Because halacha is dafka halicha, but that's what causes the halicha of the Or stuff to go from Keser, from the Oinig, and be manifest in this world. Again, it's all a dance, Keser Malchus. It's the Jew doing the mitzvah, triggering this pleasure, and back. One more piece?
I have a question about inanimate objects.
Yes.
like inanimate objects, like we all our brachos, when we make a bracha on, like it's on food, it's on
all inanimate.
It's on inanimate.
Yeah.
So what's going on over there? Like it just brought it up over here.
No, that's exactly the point. We dafka want to take from the lowliest creation of the world, that which has the least amount of life force, and that is reflected through the symbolism of a crown. That a crown contains the whole entire, is symbolic of the whole entire kingship. This is the way you crown the king as king. And nevertheless, it sounds something so stupid. It sounds like